Okay, let's dive into this. Welcome to This Explainer. We are breaking down an absolute modern classic today. We're looking at that epic July 2nd clash at BMO Field in Toronto. And guys, this wasn't just your standard football match. It was a collision of history, raw emotion, and some seriously cutting-edge technology that literally changed the outcome of a World Cup knockout game. To really grasp the gravity of this one, you gotta look at the emotional stakes. We're talking about two absolute titans of the beautiful game, Cristiano Ronaldo and Luka Modric. Both of these legends are over 40 years old. Just think about that for a second. Over 40. Every single time they step onto the pitch in this tournament, there is this heavy realization hanging in the air. This is, in all likelihood, their very last World Cup appearance. So the pressure to survive and advance, it wasn't just about a trophy. It was about keeping their ultimate dreams alive for just a few more days. So what unfolded in Toronto was basically a high-stakes, three-act sports drama that had everyone on the edge of their seats. We've got two legends facing off in a do-or-die knockout match. We got a historic, completely wild stoppage time winner in the 94th minute, and then a 113th minute technological shocker that left half the stadium going absolutely crazy and the other half just completely devastated. We're going to walk through exactly how it all happened because the details here are just unbelievable. Let's start with Act 1, the stalemate and setback. Now, the first half was super cautious. Portugal really dominated possession, keeping the ball moving, probing for an opening, but they just couldn't find the back of the net. And man, it wasn't for a lack of trying. Rafael Leao unleashed this heavy, long-range effort that just thudded right against the crossbar. And then we thought we had our breakthrough. Ronaldo produced an absolute moment of magic. He brought this spectacular crossfield pass from João Cancelo perfectly under his spell and finished it brilliantly past the Croatian keeper. But celebration over. VAR steps in and rules that Ronaldo had moved just a fraction too early. Goal wiped out. Agonizing. So that disallowed goal definitely stung, but the real setback? That came early in the second half. 53rd minute, Croatia strikes. Josip Stanisic gets a pass on the right flank, whips in a cross, and the Portuguese defense just has a terrible clearance. It leaves the ball sitting perfectly for Ivan Perisic. And Perisic doesn't hesitate. He drills a low, hard shot straight into the back of the net, giving Croatia a 1-0 lead. Suddenly, Portugal's back is totally against the wall. And honestly, it almost got worse. Mateo Kovacic came incredibly close to making it 2-0 when he bent a low shot right against the post in the 75th minute. Which brings us to Act 2, the hero's resurgence. And this brilliantly illustrates where the match completely turns on its head. Down a goal, staring World Cup elimination right in the face, Portugal's manager rolls the dice with a massive tactical pivot. Look at this. A staggering quadruple substitution. Bruno Fernandes, Pedro Neto, Vitinha, and João Cancelo all come off, and in their place, Goncalo Ramos, Nelson Semedo, Bernardo Silva, and Francisco Conceição step onto the pitch. This aggressive, massive injection of fresh legs completely changed the momentum of the game. Portugal was now throwing absolutely everything forward. And you know what? That pressure paid off almost immediately, but in literally the most chaotic way possible. 66th minute, there's a crowded corner kick, and Croatia's Nikola Vlasic inexplicably wrestles Renato Vega to the ground. It was just a messy, physical sequence. But referee Espen Eskes gets called over for a VR review, and well, there was no denying it. Penalty awarded to Portugal. So, up steps Cristiano Ronaldo in the 68th minute. The weight of the entire world is on his shoulders. Rumors had been swirling that if Portugal lost, he was going to announce his international retirement. But he steps up, stays perfectly calm, and slots it away. Portugal won, Croatia won. But guys, the historical significance of this goal is massive. This was Ronaldo's first ever knockout stage goal at a World Cup. Think about it. He made his World Cup debut in 2006. Exactly 20 years later, at 41 years old, he finally gets his knockout goal. Just an unbelievable milestone. Now, the match stayed locked at 1-1 as we hit the 90-minute mark, so we're forced into extra time. But early in that extra period, Portugal strikes. 94th minute, Rafael Leao sends this sumptuous, perfectly weighted cross into the box. And who is there to meet it? The substitute Goncalo Ramos. He rises highest, connects perfectly, and heads it home. Portugal 2, Croatia 1. The Portuguese fans in Toronto went absolutely ecstatic, while the Croatian players, they just looked devastated. It was a classic extra-time breakthrough. Or, well, so we thought. Act 3, the technological twist. Okay, so just when everyone in the stadium thought Portugal had securely booked their ticket to the next round, extra time delivered a shock that literally no one saw coming. In the 113th minute, Croatia throws bodies forward in sheer desperation. The ball is bouncing all around the box, and Manchester City defender Josko Gvardiol somehow manages to find the back of the net. The Croatian team erupts. They thought they had forced a penalty shootout. But wait. The celebration halts. VAR is checking something. The goal gets chalked off. But listen, this wasn't just your standard offside call based on a camera angle. The official statement from FIFA was totally unprecedented. It stated, and I quote, "According to the data provided by the connected ball technology housed within the Trianda, it was demonstrated that there was contact by Matanovic." Wow. Just let the gravity of that sink in. It wasn't human eyes that disallowed this massive game-tying goal. It was a microchip. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing how this invisible touch was actually caught. We have to look inside the ball itself. This is the smart ball technology used in the official Trianda match ball. Inside the very center of the ball is the suspended microchip, often called SNICO technology. It records data at incredibly high speeds to detect touches on the ball that are completely imperceptible to the human eye. And crucially, touches that the broadcast cameras absolutely cannot see. So let's walk through the exact sequence of events that broke Croatian hearts, step by step, because it's wild. First, during the build-up to that goal, the ball flew through the air. The internal chip detected that Croatia's number 20, Igor Matanovic, got the absolute faintest touch on the ball with his head, a touch completely invisible to the cameras. Second, at the exact millisecond of that micro-touch, Mario Pasalic was standing in an offside position. Third, Pasalic then actively participated in the rest of the play right before Gvardiol scored. Because of that invisible first touch by Matanovic, the offside rule was triggered. Therefore, step 4. Gvardiol's equalizing goal is strictly, but correctly, disallowed. Crazy, right? Moving on to analysis and what's next. The aftermath of a classic. When you pull back and look at the timeline of this match, it is just a visually stunning roller coaster of emotions. Croatia takes the lead in the 53rd. Ronaldo makes history in the 68th. Ramos seemingly wins it in the 94th. And then, the 113th minute ghost touch drama seals the 2-1 victory for Portugal. It's an absolute classic. We are going to be talking about this match for decades. But looking ahead, Portugal now has this massive tactical dilemma on their hands. Who do you start? Do you stick with Cristiano Ronaldo? He's the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, the captain, the absolute legend who just broke his knockout goal curse. Or do you start Goncalo Ramos, the young, energetic striker who came off the bench and scored the brilliant 94th minute winner? It's a fantastic problem for the manager to have, for sure, but it's a decision that will absolutely shape the rest of their tournament. Now, before we look ahead to the next round, we do have to take a brief, somewhat somber moment to honor the legendary Croatian captain, Luka Modric. This match marked his 200th international cap. 200! That number is just staggering. But sadly, with the defeat, this is almost certainly an emotional farewell to the World Cup for the midfield maestro. He has given football fans all over the world so much joy over the years. And if this really is the end for him on the global stage, well, what a phenomenal run it has been. So what is next for Portugal? Well, get ready, because on July 6th in Dallas, Texas, we are getting a massive round of 16 Iberian derby. Portugal versus Spain. It's going to be an incredible narrative. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo representing the legendary old guard going head-to-head against Spain's Lamine Yamal, who is the absolute shining star of the future. It's a true generational clash and honestly an absolute must-watch fixture for this World Cup. I want to leave you with a final thought today, especially looking back at that wild 113th minute. Will microchips like the smart ball ruin the raw emotion of football by analyzing every single microscopic graze? Or is relying on this invisible technology the absolute only way to ensure true fairness on the world's biggest stage? Think about that. Let the debate rage on. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Make sure you hit subscribe, because you definitely won't want to miss our next explainer covering the upcoming Switzerland versus Algeria clash. See you then.